And you already mentioned that you are not so much into marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But how important do you think marketing is if you want your app to be successful? And also, I wanted to ask, you got featured in rather big publications a few times, right?
Yeah.
The Guardian, BBC News. How did you manage to do that? And what was the impact of that? Did it bring you a lot of users, or didn't it matter too much?
That's a really good question. So I think, so I'm not great at marketing. My marketing strategy, if I release a new app or like a really significant update, is I email all the websites that I think users go to that would be interested in that app. So Android Police, most of my apps are Android focused features, right? So Android Police or Fandroid or Lifehacker. I send them an email, tips@lifehacker.com. And if I don't get a response, sometimes I'll find a specific journalist that writes there and find their email and just send it to them because, they specifically write about Android stuff. So maybe they're interested. That's my whole marketing strategy. And in terms of impact, it makes a huge impact when you go from 0 downloads to being featured on Android Police or somewhere else. That makes a huge impact, and you get a few thousand downloads straight away from people that are interested. And I'm pretty sure I don't know, but I imagine the way that the search on the Play Store works is if you suddenly get that sort of influx of users, then you rank higher when people are searching for stuff that is to do with your app. And so that kind of builds upon itself. And if you can get a bunch of those featured at the same time and they all bring a few thousand downloads, then suddenly, you rise up in the rankings and it's more easy to find your app. But I'm trying to think. So yeah, Lifehacker, I got on because I asked. The Guardian, I tweeted the guy. I found a guy who worked for the Guardian who had written quite a few articles about apps. I tweeted at him and I was like, hey, next time you write about apps, maybe you'd be interested in this one. And he tweeted me back and he was like, I already wrote about this 2 weeks ago. I had no idea. So that one was just, he found it. And I assume, and this is not even I assume, I know for a fact that people find other publications, find stuff to write about from other websites. So, the people that write for Lifehacker about Android apps, they read Android Police. So if something pops up on Android Police that they think is interesting, they're going to write about it too because they want the traffic to go to them. So they all kind of feed each other. So he definitely found the app because of one of these, other websites. And BBC News was somebody emailed me. I don't know. I honestly don't know how they found the app. I think they said they saw it maybe on Lifehacker, but it would have been quite a while ago. And they emailed me and they were doing some sort of article about safety in cars and hands-free
Yeah, I read
stuff.
it.
Yeah. And they just emailed me and they were like, would you like to be interviewed for this article? And I was like, yeah, cool. So they did, and I was on it, but I don't think that brought a huge influx of users, usually, mostly because the article wasn't about my app. It talked to me and it mentioned my app, but it was about something else. But generally speaking, the things that bring the most users are getting featured in places where your users would be.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of social media marketing. So if I would start a completely new business, a real startup, I would definitely create social media
Yeah.
content around it. I would try to cover topics that are related to the problem this business is solving.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's, I don't know, if it's a productivity app, then I would probably start creating some productivity related videos on YouTube or stuff like that. Or if it's an app that should help make the environment cleaner, then I would create content about this and write about these problems and then point people to the solution, basically.
Yeah, I think all it comes down to is I'm lazy and you're not. So like for me, you're absolutely right. If somebody's listening, go and like build YouTube content, build any kind of content you can around what your app is, because it helps people find it and that the people that you're attracting are your audience. But for me, it's like I'm not a social media guy at all. If you look at my Twitter feed, I reply very sporadically and occasionally I post something. If you went to my Facebook page, I've posted nothing since like 2014. And Instagram, I'm probably more active on there. But again, that's more active not posting stuff, so people wouldn't see my they wouldn't see me doing anything on there, because that's just not where I spend my time. But if like Florian said, like that's the best way to do it if you're willing to do that. But for me, because it's not my business and because it's just a bit of fun for me, I don't.
Yeah, makes sense.